Today I'm changing out my steering cables on my Hoodoo Tempest 120p 2nd gen. As y'all know, they moved the storage hatch underneath the seat. So I've already changed it out once before, but I'm going to redo it because things didn't quite work out the way I wanted to. But this is what I used to get it done. So obviously 1/16 wire. I got coated this time, and that's actually why I'm swapping it out, because that's not coated. Oops. You're gonna need some zip ties. You're gonna need some tubing that I bought at Home Depot, some Allen wrenches, a screwdriver, some cable clamp, some type of cable clamp tool, wire cutter tool. You're gonna need your cable clamps. This is an old antenna that I had from a old truck. I just kind of bent the tip on to make some type of hook, and a heat gun. I'll show you why you need all this, or why I needed it. Okay, so if you haven't already changed out your line to cable, you're gonna want to untie it here and pull the line through. In my case, I've got cable, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it, and then I want to pull it through. These wire cutters suck. I'll be back when it's cut. Okay, once you've got your rudder cable lines, or your rudder cables cut, then you're going to want to use your Allen wrench and open up the steering, and you know, be careful with your screws. And once you open up your steering, you're going to have to cut, or if you haven't changed it out to cable, you're gonna have to untie. But in my case, I've already put cable previously, so I'm gonna have to cut. So that needs to be clean. I'm just gonna grab a hold of it and pull it through. As you can see, this is how I got it installed in there. Just I'm gonna do that again, but for now, I'm just pulling it through. Once you've got it pulled through, it's gonna be two pieces that you're gonna have to do, two individual pieces. Once you got it pulled through, this tubing here, you are probably gonna want to see the kayak doesn't come with long pieces of tubing like this, or at least mine didn't. It only had about a maybe 3 or 4 inch piece, so I had to add some long tubing, you see. And that was, oh, I still got this one zip tied over here, but I guess it can come out, or I can cut that. Let me get that piece cut and pulled out, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've got my steering cable out, I've got my tubing out, and I got it cut off from my my steering handle. One thing I did forget to mention, if you haven't already swapped over to cable and you still have the cord, you're gonna have to get a drill bit. I don't remember the exact size, but there's some holes there that the string comes out of. Had to drill a little bit bigger. I don't remember what the exact size was, but just big enough for the tubing to fit in. See? Just big enough for it to feed through there. And you're gonna have to do the same over here. Just same size you used on the stern, just big enough for the tubing to come out of. So now you get your tubing. I think this whole coil of tubing was like $2.50 at Home Depot. Now you're gonna feed it through your hole that you drilled. Just kind of push it through. Feed it as much as you can, or maybe not as much as you can, but give it a good amount. And then this is where or in my case, where my truck antenna come in. Just made a hook. I chose a truck antenna because it was something flexible, something I could bend easily, and something I really didn't care about. Then I went in through this hatch. See if I can get it done with one hand, holding my phone. Put it through there, and and I just kind of fished around with the hook and see if I could feel the cable. This is probably the longest, most challenging part of the whole situation. I'll get back to you once I get it. Now, once you feel the cable, you will be able to feel it. You just kind of grab it and pull it on through. So then what you're going to want to do, if you fed the cable through one side, like I did there, you're going to want to come out of the same hole. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to grab your end, actually put your arm in there, and just kind of feel around for the hole, and put the tube through. So it's a little harder to do with one hand holding the phone, but I'll see if I can get it. Okay, now I got it coming out of the same side I fed it through. All right, now that you got it come out, this is where your heat gun and your screwdriver come into play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end, I'm going to heat it up with the heat gun. Once it's nice and hot, I'm going to take that screwdriver and I'm going to shove it in that end. Doesn't really fit right now, but I'm going to force it in there and just kind of make it fat. And when it cools, it won't be able to pull back through that. I'm going to give it maybe a thumb width or so. So let's get that done. That's kind of what it looks like once you got it heated up and got your screwdriver tip in there. And of course, if you don't have a heat gun, I'm sure you could use a lighter or maybe a blow dryer that blows real hot or something. Once the screwdriver is removed, it kind of holds that shape. Now you can go back to the stern of the boat and pull the tube back through, and ideally, it'll stay put. It won't go in. Now what I'm going to do, I'm at the stern of the boat. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the excess tube that I didn't need. I'm just going to kind of pull until I feel tension, because I don't want to pull the tube through. It feels right about there. And then I'll probably cut it off, I don't know, I guess somewhere around here. And then I'll heat it up again and kind of put the screwdriver back in there and maybe put a zip tie or something so it can't feed back through. When you're done, it should look like this, all right? And then I'll probably add, like I said, add a zip tie and just kind of snug it up around that way it can't feed back through. Repeat on the other side. All right, now that you got the tubes ran through, you got them fattened up at the tips, put a couple of zip ties, and same on this side. So I don't know if I said or not, but to me that's the hardest part, is blindly fishing with your antenna or whatever you choose to use in the hole, not knowing what you're feeling, just trying to feel something, pull it through till you can grab it. That's the most time consuming part, in my opinion. But now that we got that done, what we're gonna do is go ahead and get our coated cable. We're gonna get our clamps, and we are going to get it onto our steering system, and then we'll feed the cable through the tube all the way to the back. And this is what it looks like once I had to strip the coating a little bit to make it fit in the clamps, but now I got two ends of cable. They're both 10 foot each. I figured that would be a safe length to get. Now I'm just gonna run them through the tubes and feed them in the back. Okay, at this point I got both the cables ran through there and coming out of the back. So at this point you can go ahead and I can't really do it with one hand, but you can go ahead and pull it tight, set the steering in there, and go ahead and screw it back in. So now you got your steering pulled, or your cable pulled all the way in, and your steering is sitting on there flush, and we'll just screw it in. Now what I like to do is to get a piece of tape and tape your steering straight as you can. It's just something to kind of hold it in place while you adjust your rudder and get it cabled up. And there you have it, folks. Don't forget to cross your lines if you want your rudder to turn right when you turn right. And you know, if you like it opposite, then don't cross them, but that's how I did it.